Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mr. Q again, bringing you my second comic book haul video. This is some 2018 stuff left over, probably a couple weeks before Christmas. A local dealer that I buy from quite frequently. He goes to some collectible shows all around the local area. It's always mostly sports card stuff. Which is fantastic because he brings some sports cards too, but what's great about those shows is it's mostly baseball card collectors showing up, so you just don't have a lot of competition at these shows, which is phenomenal. If he goes to like a con or something, obviously there's a lot more people there, but when he does these baseball card shows, he's fantastic because he'll just email you, what are you looking for? He'll stack up a bunch of boxes for the titles you want, and then there's no one else there. So you're just completely cherry picking for hours with pretty much hardly any competition. And yeah, it's just great. So I always seem to walk away with some great deals. So I'm just going to dive into the dollar bin books. He started recently doing dollar stuff as well, which is nice. So I can fill in some runs that I like to collect. Mostly Spider-Man titles are what I'm trying to put together complete runs of. So picked up some Spectacular Spider-Man, the 70 series, so 16, 17, 18, 20, and 69. Just books I didn't have. Just to, like I said, fill in the run for $1. I will definitely grab those. They're not near mint or anything like that. His near mint stuff doesn't end up in the dollar bins typically. So, also grab some Swamp Thing. Just been trying to piece together to actually read through some of this. So 2, 3, and 7. I think like all of us, I get way behind with the books that I'm trying to read, but I keep buying stuff with the intent to read it. So I don't know how many short boxes you guys got kicking around of stuff you're meaning to read. Maybe you even have long boxes, but I definitely got a couple sitting around in the to-read pile. So, all right, that was the dollar bin stuff. Now on to the kind of the nicer stuff. I think I got a lot of pretty good stuff from this guy this time around. So I've been grabbing a lot of Batman stuff when I can find it. It's probably for DC, the only DC book I'm typically hunting down. The only DC character I've really done much reading with. Read some of the modern stuff, some of the trades, the classic storylines I've been reading, and I've definitely learned to appreciate the Neal Adams artwork from the silver and bronze age stuff in particular. So definitely seen a lot of you guys talking about these on some other channels. ETA Nick comes to mind here, always showing these. So I love the Batman logo in these Bronze Age books, but this is 224. These were all pretty reasonably priced. I think this is like 10, 11 bucks, something like that. So just great Neal Adams art. It's got one of those price, stamps on it that I always seem to love from this time period as well. So I got 224. Got a copy of 225, which I had. That was an upgrade. This fine, very fine maybe. It's got the white logo. It's got some of the, just dirt on it. So I could probably do some cleaning to it. So 225. And I got another copy of 229, which is just a phenomenal cover. I love that one. I think that's pretty iconic. I think it's pretty close to the one I had. Probably, again, high fine, very fine range. All of these, somewhere between 10 to 12 bucks for each of these, which I thought was, again, very reasonable. And I got a copy of Batman 359, newsstand. I think this is either the first Killer Croc cover, or is it the origin Killer Croc? I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm sure you guys can chime in the comments there. But I've just been grabbing any Batman keys I can find. Like I said, again, not a big DC guy, so it's tough to keep track of everything. So I've just been focusing on Batman when I see it. And that's probably very fine shape. And again, I think it was around, I think this is like 15 bucks, something like that. More Neal Adams here. Detective 405. Same as the other ones. This is probably closer to fine. It's got quite a few spine ticks, but Great book. I think first League of Assassins. This was again like the other ones, $12, something like that, which I think is a great price. I think it's going a lot more on eBay, but fantastic cover. This is one of my favorite Neal Adams covers, I think, here. It's great. All right. I was surprised to find this for the price I got it at. Again, $15. Black Panther #1. This is in pretty nice shape. I think it's got a little bit of, some color break, and it's kind of got some discoloration there where it's turning orange, but just great Jack Kirby art. Yeah, just phenomenal Bronze Age stuff there. Absolutely love that cover. Again, $15. It's probably high fine, like the others. High fine, maybe very fine. It's got a little bit of a miswrap, but at least it's aligned. I'm not that does kind of bug me when books have that, but still a beautiful book. He had like 2 or 3 copies of this, I think, but the other ones, for whatever reason, were marked a little more like 40, and they weren't that much better condition, if at all. So he'll probably have them next time I see him. Maybe I'll grab another one. Captain America #360. This isn't in the best of shape. A couple of corner creases. That is the first cameo of Crossbones, I believe. It was only a couple bucks, so I grabbed it. I've got another copy in a lot better shape that I think I picked up as a kid from a random sandwich shop, actually. I seem to remember picking up for like a quarter, but yeah. So second copy of that. This one I love. Like I said, Spider-Man's just absolutely my favorite. I passed on this the last time I saw the guy because my stack was getting too big, but he still had it. Giant size Spider-Man #4 with the Punisher. I think this is the 3rd appearance of the Punisher. Again, $10, $12, something like that. This is mid-grade stuff. Yeah, just great cover. Always loved the Punisher and Spider-Man growing up. For me, it was Wolverine, Punisher, and Spider-Man. Those were pretty much the 3 heroes that I collected. Everything to do with them. So I just kind of stick with that. Those are the ones I just grab everything I can find of those characters. Alright, this is a cool book as well. Marvel Premiere #50. First time Alice Cooper was in a comic, and this is in really good shape. I think this is like $12. I have a copy that I got from the same guy. I've got it from him multiple times. He always seems to have copies of this. And this was again like $12. I think the last copy I bought from him was a lower grade. I think I sold it on eBay for like $45. So cool cover. I love how it's kind of, I think it's kind of like a Tales from the Crypt ripoff. Just cool cover. I mean, I didn't read this at all, but I just think it's a great, fantastic cover with Alice Cooper there getting dragged to the mental ward, it looks like. Good stuff. Alright, another couple keys. Marvel Spotlight #32. This is the first appearance of Spider-Woman. Wasn't a huge fan of Spider-Woman growing up at all, but still a cool book. This is probably in the fine range. I grabbed another copy from him the last time I saw him as well, so I've got a couple of these. Again, reasonably priced, like everything from this guy. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen with these characters with the Edge of the Spider-Verse movie. I don't know if you guys saw that. I thought that movie was actually phenomenal. It's probably one of my favorite superhero movies. I went in there not expecting to love it, and I definitely did. So yeah, who knows who's going to show up in the next movie. So couldn't believe I found this for the price I got it for. He had this, I got that for $15 from him. Miss Marvel #1. Again, I have a copy of this, but for $15, I was shocked he had it for that low. These seem to be going crazy on eBay. I didn't really read Miss Marvel as a kid, except for crossovers. But pretty cool cover, so I grabbed it. All right. New Mutants '87, first appearance of Cable. Love this cover. McFarlane's definitely my all-time favorite. I know this is kind of a McFarlane slash Liefeld, McFarlane face there, Liefeld hair it looks like. Great cover. I have a copy of it. I don't have a great copy. This isn't a great copy either, but he had it in the box unpriced, and I gave it to him price. He put 20 on it, and after I talked him down with the whole lot, it was, you know, 15 bucks, something like that. So can't complain about that at all. I know this book has cooled off quite a bit, I think, but still, for 15 bucks, I will grab a copy of that every single time I see it. So I do love that cover. Fantastic McFarlane art. Back to the Spider-Woman theme. Spider-Woman #1. So I can't remember if this is actually her second appearance or just the first solo title. I don't think it's her second appearance. I feel like her second appearance is in a Marvel 2-in-1 issue, possibly, or is it a Marvel team-up? I can't remember. Because in this one she's got her hair kind of free-flowing there, but there's definitely another cover she's on where she's got the full hood. I can't remember what it is right now. Maybe you guys can chime in down below. But this is a much better copy than the one I had. I picked, again, from the same guy. No, I actually grabbed one from a different vendor for like 10 bucks. It was kind of beat up. So this will be a good upgrade for me, and I'll probably flip the backup copy, but that is a cool cover. All right, and Wolverine #1. This is, you know, definitely one of my all-time favorite books. I love this cover. Not a huge Frank Miller fan in terms of art. I do love Frank Miller writing, but I do absolutely love this cover. I think everyone does. This is just iconic. I remember looking at this book in comic book shops as a kid and it being way out of my price range. I remember having to settle on the volume 2 #1, the awesome black cover, and paying like $4 back in the 80s was like a huge amount of money to spend for me on a back issue. You know, this thing was probably sitting on a wall for who knows back then. I don't even remember, but again, these were priced just cheap. I think they were 10 bucks. He had multiple, so I grabbed 3 copies. I've got 2 more. I found one at some weird garage sale / antique dealer. These people about an hour away have this. They advertise it as a garage sale, but when you show up, they've basically converted their garage into an antique store. And the guy buys what do you call storage units, and he had bought a storage unit that was a comic book dealer, and he threw all the stuff in the back with all the prices from whenever the store was open, probably back in the 90s, I'm guessing. And some of the stuff is just outrageously priced, and some of the stuff isn't priced. And I, you know, pulled the Wolverine #1 newsstand out of there for like $5 a couple years ago. Then I bought a real nice copy from the same dealer about 2 months ago, and he's got 3 more copies. So I couldn't resist for the price he had. 10 bucks, 15 bucks, whatever it was a piece. I don't, you know, it's not a fantastic price, but yeah. I just love that cover. Can't get enough of it. All right, and these are probably my favorite finds from, actually one of them's from the previous time, but like I said, this guy just added in dollar bins. I've been looking for this book, wanting to get this book for a while, but not wanting to pay for it. You know, there's certain key issues I just don't want to shell out the money they're commanding to get. So unless, you know, I just want to get them for a buy. And I couldn't believe he had this sitting in his dollar bin. It is not in the best of shape, but I've been looking for it. Spectacular Spider-Man #64, the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. Just flipping through the bin, and there it is. No bag, no board. Snatched it right up. The cover's detached at the bottom staple, which kind of kills me, but at the same time, for $1, yeah, I could not believe. I had to do a double take. Like, holy cow, I can't believe this is in there. I don't know how he missed it either, because he goes right to that price guide, and just surprised that made its way in. So the time before, the last show I was at, same thing, digging through his dollar bins, and this book's been pretty hot because of the Venom movie, but he had also had Spectacular Spider-Man #90. This one's in a lot better shape. high VF range. I mean, maybe VF near mint. Again, for $1, I was shocked he had that. Really shocked about the Cloak and Dagger one. Just couldn't believe that was in the dollar bin. So those were definitely my the buys of the show. All the other books are fantastic, but anytime I'm pulling stuff like that for $1, I think that's just, who doesn't get excited about that? So yeah, last thing I'll cover, I grabbed this from another shop, similar, right around the same time frame. There's some other stuff with it, but nothing too crazy. But I did pick up a run of Spawn. I got this for like $40. I haven't wanted to spend a lot on Spawn, but I know it's kind of heating up. And some of these I was missing. I didn't, when Image came out, somehow I missed quite a few of the issues of Spawn and never went back and got them. Well, like I said, I love McFarlane. So this guy had them tucked in the back of his shop, and you know, he has so much stuff that's not marked, and it's hit or miss what kind of pricing he's going to give me, and if it's going to be the owner there or one of his other guys. But I've been wanting to get more Spawn with the movie coming out again. I have a copy of the newsstand that's in you know, VF range. I've got quite a few Spine Ticks that I managed to find for a few bucks at that same weird. Actually, I found the newsstand Spawn on the back of that Wolverine #1 I was talking about. So this is a nice copy, VF near mint, but it's, you know, pretty much straight through 1 through 10. So 1, 2, none of these are newsstand, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is a little homage cover to Spider-Man #1. I didn't have that one somehow. And 9, which is the first appearance of Angela. 10, and it's a little bit later on, but he had it in the box. It was a newsstand. 31, so Capullo and McFarlane on that cover. So like I said, it was $40, so a few bucks a piece it worked out to, and I figured, what the heck, I don't know, Spawn #1 seems to be marked fairly high at a lot of the shops I go to, but it feels like it's kind of heating up possibly with the movies. We'll see how good the movie ends up being. I don't know if you guys saw the original one. I thought it was pretty bad whenever it came out in the 90s, so I hope they do a lot better job with it. We'll see what happens though. But alright guys, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please, you know, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. I'm going to try and do these things. I'm going to try and get caught up on all the books I bought from the end of 2018, and hopefully I can do some more regular stuff, you know, showing off books as I buy them so I don't kind of forget the details, and maybe cover the weekly stuff I've been picking up as well. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you're having a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.